ready.
We'll open this meeting of Thursday, October 30th, 2014. Let the record show that all the selectmen are present, and except Selectman Scanlon, and he is on his way. We're going to go to the minutes.
May I say happy Halloween?
Oh, happy Halloween, everyone, yeah.
All right. Make a motion, we bring the minutes of 10/2/14 to the floor for discussion.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. At the top, the very top, it says Selectman Scanlon will arrive shortly. Perhaps maybe we should just reword that. Or at some point in time, we should note that he entered. Either way,
No, don't even put that in there.
just eliminate it.
Well, if you
Just
don't put
eliminate He's gonna be here.
if
Right,
you don't
present
put
from the
him up, you
board.
can't put him present until he actually walks in.
Right.
So you
Selectman
could
Scanlon was present at
so do you put,
15:45.
Well, right down here, Selectman Scanlon asked to reference in the minutes, so,
so do you just put him there even though he wasn't here when we started the meeting?
right, I would
Or
say,
you put a time beside his
Why
name?
don't you
Approval.
put underneath, when you open the meeting, just put a sentence that Selectman Scanlon joined the meeting at
Yeah.
right,
12:50.
Yeah.
I think that a time should be
I think
beside
that
the
would be
name.
good.
So is that about right, about 4:50, 4:45?
Yep.
I'll put 4:45. Turn my phone off.
It seems unlikely somehow that I would have voted in favor of approving the minutes of the joint meeting, as I wasn't at the joint meeting. I have no knowledge of what transpired. It says I was in favor, and maybe I did, but I don't usually.
I wasn't, babe, I know I wasn't, because I wasn't there.
Me neither. I was teaching a class that night. Page 2, it's probably nothing, but under Town Administrator, third sentence, right in the middle, she spoke with Casey, the store manager, T. Lowe's, and I'm sure it's at
And
Lowe's.
Lowe's.
I get it, but
Some people may not.
there's a figure on page 3, tan borrowing, instead of a comma after it, either leave it with nothing or put a period and 2 zeros.
On page 4, we have an empty, it says total grounds landscaping, and from Epsom, total dash, dash, dash.
Epsom was Jungle Gym.
So then take out total and put jungle gym.
My bucks anyway.
Is that figure for the tasers correct? I thought it was 9,882. I could be wrong, though. Could we just double check and make sure that that's
Yep.
the correct figure, and if it is not, put it in? Any other questions, concerns, or additions? Make a motion, we accept the minutes as corrected.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right.
I have a couple of questions.
Okay.
Has the information that was going to be on the sign at the gazebo been determined?
No, I haven't received anything. I still have to go over there and drop off 2 certificates and have the selectman write the letter. So when I go over, I'll talk with, thanking him. And also, we did receive the, a 3-gallon pail of the stain with the data sheets. And for now, Dennis just put it down in our basement,
Okay.
where we keep our other paints.
The CDBG grant with Windy Hill, where are they at? I mean, they did what? Just tell me where they are.
Okay, they're still in the process of hiring a engineering consultant to do their study, to do their feasibility
So they
study.
really haven't done anything?
No, it's Gaslight has, they.
Gaslight has, yes, and they're going into the next step.
Yes,
Okay, but they're just at the beginnings, correct?
that is correct.
Okay. And did they hire Donna?
We hired Don.
I mean, we hired Donna
Yep.
Lane, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the
All right,
grant's
so
been
they're on the
approved.
way, they're in the first phase,
Yep,
okay.
their contract, we received their signed contract back from the state. They gave us, maybe 2 weeks ago, we signed the sub-recipient agreement so that they could go ahead and hire their contractor. We signed the authorization to request money forms. In fact, I just got Joe's signature this past week, so we could go ahead and request funding. So they're ready to start their research at Windy Hill.
All right.
Whatever happened to the trailer that we own up, that we didn't take, that's abandoned?
In Windy Hill,
No, Gaslight.
in Gaslight,
Yeah, they ran, did they owe taxes on it? They abandoned it.
it's abandoned.
Nice trailer, too.
It's still sitting there, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, well, they haven't come after us for anything, because we don't own it.
Is Gaslight aware that they can't move it until the taxes are paid?
I don't know, I'd have to find
Or
out.
we allow them to move it?
I thought we were going to follow up with the manager and let them know and get in touch with them to make sure that they know that there's taxes owed on it and lien, and we could deed it.
Oh, I just checked my email, and just now we got a report from Community Loan Fund on the Windy Hill progress. I'll print this out.
All right.
Let's see, is this the one on Gaslight?
Well, let's not lose that sight of the Gaslight one. We could have
Let's see if this is
another
Gaslight.
experience we had up on School Street where they disappear.
Yeah.
Oh, this will be easy. Do you want, when it comes to my time on the agenda, do you want me to read them?
Yeah.
They're real brief,
Okay.
but I'm making a note about that one.
The Gaslight Village one?
Yep.
We need to follow up on that.
Yep.
All right.
Oh, lo and behold. It's right there.
Do you want to start that?
I hope this is John. At this time, I would like to, it is, okay. Let the record show Selectman Scanlon is here. At this time, I'd like to make a motion to go into non-public as per RSA 91A:3, personnel. Roll call vote?
Yes.
Yes. At this point, we've only gone on the minutes. Make a motion that we seal the minutes of the non-pub as they pertain to personnel permanently.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. While they're coming back upstairs, I talked with Tanis from the lady that, on Daniel Drive, for the lighting, the Tilton School lighting.
Oh, good.
And I talked with Dari, and I'm going to forward the emails from the Peter Salibas and myself to Dari, and then he's going to follow up and copy me, and I'm going to follow up with Tanis again to see if there was a lighting contractor that came back and what the settings were, not settings, but the readings were, and follow up if they came out or not. All right, so I'm still
Are you saying
working
that
it.
somebody went up there?
Did we seal?
I don't know that. I
Oh.
want to find out if somebody went up and what the readings were.
Excellent.
I want to see confirmation that somebody went up there.
Okay.
And she said it's still as bright as it was before. She's learning to live with
Did
it,
they make
but
some
She
changes?
shouldn't have to do
the
that.
lights at the field, the
Did
new
they-
field,
did they make any
we don't know
changes since-
if they made changes or not. There's been no email to follow up on the first email.
Well, if they're bright as they were before, then they made no changes, and
Right.
they need to change them.
Yep.
They need to keep the things off.
Right. Joyce, we're all set for you.
All set?
I just took one thing off, we're all set for you if you want to come up.
Oh, I thought you were...
I just took one thing off my list while we were just coming up, waiting for you to come up.
Okay. I think I'll be quick. So a lot of it's just budget-related.
Why have I heard that?
I want to go over that intent
I'll
to
be
cut
quick.
to
explain what's going on with
We
that.
have to remember to figure out who's going to be at election Tuesday.
The intent to cut form,
Yeah, for the,
Joseph.
whenever they file an intent to cut,
I remember that. then
And the
we
selectmen-
weren't sure because it was filed after he cut, but
right, it was a supplemental, and so he was cutting more. So he had come in, and I think it was on October 16th, he had come in and met with Lauren, or with Catherine, and said that, he was going to be doing some more cutting, and we said, oh, you have to submit an intent to cut, but he didn't submit one.
He already cut the trees anyway, so.
He'd cut them even before he came in to
Correct.
get the intent. So, but he did file an intent. And so when I asked if there was any penalty, we could,
too much can only be assessed if the report card is not filed before the deadline, which is May 2015.
Right, that's the report of cut.
2014.
So the only way we can assess a penalty is if he fails to file the report of cut.
But
Nothing
not
if he
intent
fails
cut
to,
or
or
amendment
supplemental.
to it?
Nope.
And that's,
And the way you would say they never filed an intent to cut, the way you would get them is when they file the report of cut. And if the report of cut shows that they cut more, it doesn't show that they cut enough. And that's one of the things that Jesse Bouchard does, is he'll go out and he can take a look at a cut and he could tell you exactly how much has been cut. And
but
then you assess doomage.
basically, the intent to cut, you can get that no matter what anyway, right?
Right.
So,
So
would think
just
he'd have to
because
file it
he
first.
filed it
So-
late, we can't penalize him. But we'll get him on the report. We'll make sure that he files this report of cut, and the report of cut is correct. All right, I'm just going to do these in this order.
get it.
All right, the good news is that we were awarded that additional EPA grant through CRDC for $38,000. So we can go ahead and spend the money on those change orders.
148 eucalyptus.
Yeah, no, echinacea.
Echinacea.
Echinacea. And
Isn't that a
we
skin
did,
disease?
we did run into one, once they're out there and they're actually digging the dirt and moving everything around, and you could really see, one of the things that came up was the Conservation Commission had marked what trees they wanted to keep. And so there was a couple maple trees down right on the bank where it meets up with the right-of-way line with the
It
railroad.
looks like they're doing something,
Yeah,
Joyce.
they're-
This
it's
is what
great.
I always wanted. All those times I complained and whined and sniveled about the building, and when is the building coming down, and, oh, it looks like a dump.
Yeah.
Looks like it could be a park.
Conservation
steam
area.
roller and
Conservation area.
But they did have to take one of the
They
trees
did,
down that
yeah.
they
One of the ones that they wanted.
to
How
be
come?
left up, because it was in the right-of-way of the railroad, right?
Because where we're actually
Yeah,
tying
yeah,
in
yeah.
is just too,
I know the trees you were
and
talking
it's
about.
very steep, and we'd be messing
Yep.
in the wetlands and
Yep.
everything. So the trails has to bring it up to a certain grade, the WRTA, and then our trail has to come in at a certain grade. So the two, our engineer, Crederi, and Quantum, now, as soon as we get our final grades, we have to give all that information to Quantum so they can make sure they come in at the same angle, so that's good. So that made my day. Signs. Remember we voted 2 weeks ago that the board would go ahead and put up some no parking signs to protect all of Salmon Run? I have one estimate so far. Dennis got a second one. He's waiting for a third one. But originally, when I asked for the quote, I figured we'd only need 8 to 10. 12 by 18 no parking signs, the white, red, no parking anytime. At the state prison, those are $14 each. The other quote we got was $17. And then if you want to go the 18 by 24, which the correctional industries recommended, he said usually the 12 by 18s you would use in a parking lot, whereas the larger ones you would use on a major route, like 3 and 11. So those would be $20 each. And then if you just use the 10-foot green post, delineator posts, those are $19.88 apiece. So today, Al and Catherine took the plans and measured out, and it looks like we want to have them every, 20 feet?
You figured every 20 feet.
And that's $40 a sign, including the posts. Green posts and this $20 sign.
Yeah, I didn't realize.
That correct?
$20 for a post, a T-post?
1988, those green metal posts.
Oh, these are the state, these big
The
mother
posts for the signs.
Yeah, they're big mother posts.
And then the other quote we got for the 12 by 18s is $17 each for the signs and $22.18 for the posts.
Oh, I think
So-
we should buy the convict ones.
So we'll wait and get one more.
Keeps them busy.
And so 35, so we're like talking
It does.
a lot of,
Keeps them busy.
oh, maybe we could have them come up and get a detail to put them in. That's a
They would.
great idea.
Make 'em
Because I said,
install
Dennis,
them.
I said, you're,
Installed. Tell them, yeah, we'll buy them, but they have to be installed.
$1,400.
How about that?
That's why the state wants us to buy the signs,
Uh-huh.
to put on their road.
Make sure that they wear their pink.
they're pink.
They don't have pink, they have green.
You know what?
That's a good idea, have them install them.
The prisoners? Yeah,
Yeah.
they do stuff like that.
The state prison or Belknap County?
Both.
They both
I prefer
have
to use the
details.
state
The
prisoners
state.
because their program, I think, is much easier to deal with.
Yeah.
As Dustin's Concrete, we have used the county home, the county jail, but it's a little more difficult. You have to pick them up. You're very, very responsible for them. I mean, this way, they bring them up.
Those characters
They
at
go.
county jail are a little more free form. The guys down at the state prison seem to be a little more organized.
They're very organized, and
The guards.
they're, these, and the fellows that they bring up, it's not like they're bringing up people on death row.
So I didn't know
These
if you
people are
wanted-
almost
Short
out.
timers,
They're
MSU,
almost out.
the minimum security unit, they have details that go out of minimum
I
security.
don't know what you're laughing at, but you're making me laugh. Okay, so either way, once we get the final price and we agree on the number, we need to move fast because they're
ground's
hopefully
gonna
going to be
freeze.
done. The ground's going to freeze, and they're hoping to be done next week.
We
So,
want to put those in before they have the parking lot in, right?
no, parking lot will come in the spring.
Well, I,
Oh, they're not putting the parking
No.
lot in either?
No. He said maybe if they have good weather early in the spring, they'd take advantage of it and come in and do it. They're not
wouldn't-
grubbing in the parking lot.
yeah, I wouldn't put any signs until we have a parking lot.
No, we want to keep people off
Yeah,
the
we don't
parcel.
keep-
They're doing major work over there.
Well, we could put half in or something, but we don't want to block the people from parking down the other end. You got all this, in the springtime, you got all the fishermen that are coming in to use it.
They're not going to be
It's gonna
parking there in the springtime or the summer. They're not going to be parking there when it's finished.
Well, it's really important we keep the,
Up either a parking lot or allow them to use.
You can't have them parking in there and rutting that all up again, or we're going to have to pay to
You're not
regrade it.
listening.
I am listening. You want them parking in there now.
No,
be
no,
fishing.
you're not listening. I'm talking about the east,
Salmon
or
Road.
the west side, the lower part.
Salmon
They
Road.
they drive through there now. We're not doing anything with that yet.
well, you better
So-
Well, you
talk
better
to
talk to
Chuck,
the
because
Conservation Commission.
I thought we were just going to be sectioning off the Ernies, because we have to protect the marker layer and the 2 inches of soil on top, that we can't have anybody plowing through there.
That's right.
The last
right.
meeting I was at
And
the
the other part was-
Conservation Commission, when this was discussed, it was to do both parcels. It was to go from the
That's very understood.
guardrail.
May I make a suggestion?
way
We
up.
need to move forward with the
Ernies,
Ernies.
at least.
At least.
Yeah.
So
And the
when that
Conservation
happens,
Commission needs to
and
clarify.
you guys can do it.
Because people are going to need someplace to park there. That's a very common
Okay.
used area.
It's about time you got the hammer out.
Things easy.
Oh, she's going to throw it.
Okay.
Next, no, you don't mean for three, you just meant.
J.P. Carter, it will be coming to do the lights and
Excellent.
Cindy's. I told him
I
to
saw
go
the
ahead.
email.
The lights?
Yeah, it was only $452, so I didn't have to get a,
Up in the attic,
Oh, that's an outstanding thing.
because I was
Yep.
up there and I'm like,
Yeah, I want to know when
It's
the door
scary
gets
up there.
winterized.
And-
well,
Yeah,
that's the
smooth.
next thing.
Yeah.
I told Dennis, I said, will you please get together with Al? I said, I wasn't present at that portion of the meeting when they talked about what you guys wanted to weatherize that door. So has he spoken to you yet about that? Okay, so rather than take up time for the
Which,
meeting.
the lower door or the?
The
Road to the roof, door to the roof.
the door to the roof, okay. I just want to confirm so far our schedule then. So we're meeting next Thursday. I'm sorry. The reason we're not doing any budget work next Thursday is because you're not going to be here, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. So Thursday, November 13th, so far I have Cindy down at 4:30, and you want to allow 20 minutes, half hour for each? I've got highway, land use, code enforcement, and health officer.
5 minutes. Shouldn't take more than 5 minutes apiece.
Well, do you want to just block off 4:30 to 5:30 and have all those people here?
Highway's going to take about a half hour, because we're just with questions.
Land use might take a few minutes longer, but code
So 5
enforcement and
minutes
health.
with, Cindy should probably be 10 minutes, so I would say an hour between Cindy, highway, land use, and code.
Okay, so, well, Catherine and Al will both be here. Now, do you want Dari to be here for that evening to talk with him or anything? It's just a
Is
real
it-
simple little budget.
It's not his,
No, but he's,
did he have input into the
Yes.
budget, what he wanted
Yes,
to be put in?
yeah, I just said,
He should be here.
well, I said level fund it, and I said we need to get the master plan done. And I said keep money in there for consulting, because you never know when planning or zoning has to hire someone to do something, so that's level
I mean, a
funded.
part of the,
Then I would say,
Process.
yes.
Okay. Then we have Thursday, November 20th, Police, Parks, and Conservation. So what time do you want to start with the PD? Are you around, Chief, November 20th, to come in and do your budget? Okay,
4:30.
4:30?
You want to be first, right there, off the bat.
Give him like 10 minutes.
4:30 until the wheels fall off.
Couple $1 million budget, I think we're going to allow a little bit more time
All
for
right,
us.
15.
No,
So,
I have a lot of questions.
so should we, because Parks and Concom, most of those people work, should we plan to start them at 5:30, 6?
5:36.
Okay.
When we finish with the police, with Chief, we can fill in, with your report, Chief's report, so on and so forth, Selectmen's report, and then we can, when they get here, we'll take them.
Okay.
Well, it's going to be, it's
Parks and Conservation on the 20th. When does Heather come in?
I haven't spoken to her yet about that.
Okay.
Is Thursday, December 4th too late? We can put her in on Thursday?
No, it's not too late. Well,
I don't think Heather's going to be a big issue.
yeah,
no, I have Finance, IT,
And admin.
and Admin on the 4th. And then we have to finalize on the 4th after that, and then present on the 10th. If we don't have it done, we don't have it done, we'll present on the 17th to the budget. But they have a schedule and would like us to keep with the schedule for the 10th. That's our goal.
All right, well, do you want to do her Thursday, the 20th, then?
If she can, that would be great.
Thursday.
Welfare.
So,
See if she can either do
before
the...
the chief, or
Well,
after
see if she can either do the 13th or the 20th. We can fit her in either one.
Okay. And so that she doesn't have to be driving at night, should we try and get her in early? Okay.
We can fit her in between Cindy and Highway.
Cindy and Highway, okay.
And that was the 13th.
And then finance, IT, administration, and any other items.
Right.
Okay. And then, on the notices for the budget hearing, did the budget committee talk last night? Did they set those dates?
Set those dates, yep.
They did, so I can plan to go ahead and do those notices.
Yep.
What I do is I type them up, I let Joanna take a look at them, proof them, and then we'll plan. Now, we usually just do the one ad. We do both meetings in one ad.
Yeah.
So they still want to do that? Okay. So that's good. And then you got the corrected
You don't
budget?
send that out for a while, though.
But if I don't write it down... Okay, we got our rates, official rates from the Health Trust, and the good news is, the MTB 5 is only up 0.8%. The MTB SOS, Site of Service Plan, is down 1.4%. Our Medicomp for our retirees, that went down 4.2%. No change in the dental premium, but they did make some changes to the benefit that's provided, and I just got this in the mail today, so I haven't had a chance to analyze it. I did receive a quotation from School Care, and I'll be getting one from a private insurer through Melcher and Prescott. They deal directly with the number of products. He'll have his November 1st, and then the New Hampshire Interlocal Trust, Davis and Toll, which is one of our, currently provides our life and disability insurance, they represent that firm. So I just need to get back to Stacy and say, where are my estimates? So I think what we should do, even though these have come in low, like, we'll go ahead now and plug these numbers in for the budget. And I have to start sending out all the open enrollment notices. But I do think we should spend some time and really take a look at these plans, because going forward, our plans are going to be more and more expensive, that we could reach a high enough amount that we may be subject to the Cadillac tax. That won't be until 2018. But I think
Now,
it's...
doesn't the Affordable Care Act kind of ensure that the insurance is affordable?
No.
That was just a rhetorical question.
No, but one of the ways they pay for the making healthcare affordable is that people that
It's
choose
stick
to
it to
do...
you, and
People
You're
that
working?
choose the more expensive,
Then you pay.
then you pay.
Affordable if you're not.
But we do the same thing. It's like, if you want the Blue Choice 3 tier, then the employee's going to pay that difference. So, but the industry trend now is more and more people are moving to site of service plans and higher deductible plans. So we'll see that pretty much, that's with Anthem, like if we were to go to Anthem Direct, the only thing they would offer us as a small group would be a site of service plan.
I think right now, when we're talking about insurance, it'll probably be a good idea to let everybody know, the employees, about the buyout. Because now is when their spouses are also
Yep.
open enrollment, and they might want to make that decision.
we could put something in the paychecks? Is that permissible?
Well, I have to send them open enrollment notices anyway with
There
a
you go.
letter, so I'll put it right in
That's what,
that.
for 2 weeks?
No, this is right up until, well, we
No.
want people, well, we won't even know. Usually you sign the transmittal if you're going to stay with this. I'd like,
But I would like to send that letter out prior to sending them about the open enrollment, so that when there's, because a lot of companies right now have open enrollment. So that way, if their spouse is signing up, or has the opportunity to sign up,
Yep.
they have a forewarning that we can go this way or that way.
Do we want to keep the buyout the same?
The what?
keep the what?
The buyout?
I think the buyout's to our advantage.
Yeah, but to keep the...
Well, last year, remember, they approached us and asked us for a better buyout.
Yeah, but
Looked
we
at it and
didn't
we
give
said
it
no.
to them.
Right.
So we should still...
So I'm asking again, do you want to or not?
Well,
What
I
is
think,
that?
I think when we put out the notice about the buyout, find out if people are interested in using it. And if we have more people that would be interested, then it would be to an advantage to increase the amount. Because right now, we only have 4 people doing it. So all you're doing is just increasing the amount for those 4 people.
Right. So it wouldn't be to our advantage.
Right.
So if we
If it
get...
entices people to do it, then it would be to our advantage because we would be saving
Yeah.
money.
If we
Don't
got...
we save money on those 4 people?
Yes.
Yeah, but
We want to encourage
Then
them
it's
to
to
stay
our
on
we
it.
want to coverage more than 4
More to
people.
come on.
Yes, but if you want to encourage more, don't have as good insurance as you do. I mean, the the fact is we have very good insurance.
So we're,
So the chances are that the spouse having insurance someplace else is probably not as good. So why would they go for,
it's balancing the cash in your pocket and maybe your other
depends on the
plan.
medical needs.
I have a suggestion. We have 2 tiers of employee contribution in town, and I would love to see all the town employees pay the same percentage for their health insurance. Something to think about during another conversation. When Joyce comes up with the figures and we actually have this discussion, I think that should be part of the discussion.
Yeah, I'll have that for you next, for the
And that
6th. I'll make
might
them available on the 6th, and then hopefully we could set
spur
aside
people
time on
to
the
buy out,
13th to
too.
talk about
We
it.
would need to, if we had that conversation, Joe, I'm on board with you, but if you look at the pay scale, it's way out of whack with contractual and non-contractual. So if you look at the percentage of payout of employee contribution, is it direct proportionate to what their wages are?
It seems like the police department got an increase in their wages in the last contract, and they paid more in health premium, so, I mean, it was a wash. But I don't think it's unfair to talk about it and see what
I
those
don't think it's
numbers,
unfair either.
see what those numbers look like.
It's
I
always,
don't want to stick it to nobody, but I mean, realistically,
Right, but we'd be
I
going
think it's
12
always
to
good to look at that.
12 to 14 for
No, 12
the
to
rank and file.
15.75.
Pardon me?
Right now, the non-union are 12%, union's going to 15.75 January 1. So we can look at that.
Well, that seems a little harsh at that percentage jump, but we might consider
Well, when you
raising.
look at the wages
Well-
of the contractual people, and then you look at the wages at, like, highway,
Insurance is expensive. We're paying extra this year, right?
yeah, but, you know, I mean, their wages are a lot higher. So
Yeah.
keep into consideration that,
I'll
I don't
consider
think you
it.
could, I don't think you could go from 12 to 15.
No, not necessarily. I didn't realize it was going up so significantly in the contract.
Well, they're paying 14, right? 14 and,
That's kind of the
14,
number I
right?
was thinking about.
right
see.
now.
14 right now.
They're paying 14 right now. In January, they go to 15 and 3/4.
It might spur employees to choose a higher deductible plan or, a different plan kind of thing. And I'm just thinking about the taxpayers. I'm not trying to hurt nobody, even though I know there will be those who,
Casualties.
there will be, it might spur people to buy out and go on the other health plan, too. It's something to think about when the time comes up.
Okay, well, this is good, because I'm hearing what you want.
And I'm not
Information you
convinced that it's a good idea necessarily. I just think we should discuss that as an option. Because we give the regular employees everything that the contract employees get, by and large, holidays and all of those things, but they don't contribute the same amount to the health insurance. So,
But they,
well, I know
some
we've
of the benefits that they get that the town
yeah.
employees don't get.
There are some. We buy the guns
Contractually.
for the police department. We don't buy guns for Public Works.
Don't,
Do we?
We buy them shovels.
There you go. We can talk about it, yeah, all joking aside.
you know, you have to understand something. When you're in when you're in a position, when you have contractual employees, that's negotiated and agreed upon.
Yep.
And you don't have those figures for 3 years unless it's agreed upon.
That's correct. I understand how contracts work.
Right.
I do understand how
We didn't agree.
contracts work.
Their number.
It's voted on by all of them.
That's
It's
correct.
accepted by all of them.
That's
Do we have a
correct.
flex savings?
No.
Is that something that we don't?
Well, no, do you mean a flexible spending account? No, we've looked at that, and at the time, the cost to administer it, I think, was $4 a month per per employee, so we'd need a certain number of employees contributing at a certain amount in order to achieve savings, because the town was not going to pay the administrative fee. But we can always look at it again.
Yeah, you know, if, was it Mulcher and Prescott, maybe they have a plan that they work in together with it or something, if you get it.
Try not to make it so that the employee takes home less than what they made last year. If you have a
I think we should discuss it at the right time, but it's
Right.
something to consider, and I'm just
absolutely.
twirling my bait.
The other thing is that our current life and accident insurance, that premium is not changing for the year, but the life, short-term and long-term disability is increasing a lot. It's going from .56 cents per $10 of benefit to .739. So we are quoting it out to the Health Trust, and I should be getting that quote at any time. And the advantage to going with the Health Trust is that they will reimburse the town, so we continue to pay the employee, and then they send the check to the town. Makes it seamless in terms of reporting for taxes and New Hampshire retirement contributions, and they don't have the provision, and I double-checked this, that if an employee wants to supplement that benefit with paid time off, the policy allows that, whereas with the standard, they don't. They get penalized, they lose the benefit. As long as you don't exceed what your full earnings would be for that week, which will really help employees who are out on short-term disability, because using that paid time off will pay their health insurance premium. So I thought I would have that before
So they would
tonight.
Have we
be
ever-
allowed to do that.
They'd be allowed to do that.
Have we ever bid that out to a private company? Our insurances?
Since I've been here, yes, we've changed it. When I was first here, it was Unum
No, I mean not going through
Health Trust
Health Trust
for,
insurance.
this is the first time we've approached Health Trust for this insurance. This has always been private.
Disability, but I'm talking about medical.
We bid it out 3 years ago when Sandy was here, and we stayed with the
Right.
Health Trust.
But
And I'm
did we
bidding
bid
it out.
to private, or did we go with Muni, the other agencies, like has what, two?
Back then, we
There's
did,
three.
we did the pools.
Primus.
We did the 3 pools.
Right.
This year, I
We've
did a
not bid it
private
out to
agency.
just,
No, I did contact Anthem 3 years ago, and they said they wouldn't even bother to quote anything on us. They couldn't meet our
okay, that's my
plan.
question.
But I did, because things have been changing since then, that's why I contacted Melcher and Prescott, because they do service municipalities.
No, that was just for disability, right?
No, for health insurance.
It was for health, okay. I'm sorry, I was lost. Thank you.
Okay, and then we also got our rates for property liability, workers' comp, and unemployment comp, and those are the rates that Tim has plugged into the schedule.
And they've gone up.
Yeah, but not too much. We did okay.
Do they go up based on how much we use it?
Not property liability.
The workman's comp?
Workers' comp, yes, our modification factor does play a role in that. And
Currently,
our
we only have,
modification
what,
went up
one claim?
No.
on workers' comp.
We
It
have
did
more
go
than-
up.
Oh, no, yeah, you're right.
Save money if you don't have any events.
Yeah.
You save money if you don't have any events.
We
Yeah.
have quite a few of
We have
those.
several, yeah, I can only think of one.
And that's the other thing I'll make available to you. I asked for a claims report, and this is...
Yeah, I'd like to see
Yeah, it
that.
needs to be kept confidential.
Absolutely.
So I'll, how do you want me to put this on your
I'll look at it
drives?
at your office.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll come by.
I'll come by.
I gotta
Yeah,
drop
it's
off
it's
my
pretty
ballot
interesting.
tomorrow
They can
anyway,
t-
so.
by department, how much money, so,
Good information.
Take a look.
yep.
I mean, I don't know why I'll be there, thanks.
I already did that. Okay, our windows, I haven't had a chance to, and we've had nice weather. I'm still waiting for a third quote on the window tinting.
How many weeks we're going to wait for a third quote? If you try to go for a
All right,
third
well, then I
quote-
won't,
What do you think, Bo?
Did you guys pick?
You want me to
It's
go?
been longer than a month, and we've only gotten 2
It's
responses.
been a month, I just got
3
this
weeks.
October 22nd.
I think we need to get those,
No, we talked about it over a month
The
ago.
awnings down.
That's what it was.
Years ago.
we're getting closer to wet and wet and wet and wet and wet weather. The days of
22nd,
dry will be
23rd.
far and few in between.
And those
We'll
awnings
have an
will get
opportunity
rolled
to
before.
dry.
So, want to have them take them down, ask them to take them down Monday?
Monday.
No,
I'd
'cause
say
they're not
Monday,
doing-
tomorrow,
gonna
because
do
they're supposed to
anything
have
but clean
snow
up this week.
over the weekend.
It's Amnesty Day tomorrow. It's a full crew tomorrow at
Yeah. Tomorrow's not good. Well, it's supposed to snow this weekend. I don't think it's accumulating necessarily, but how much weight can those things handle?
Don't start your machine up yet, Al.
Oh, Al's already got it all ready to go.
Wash, wax, and
Joyce, on the windows, board, what is it,
Go with
what
it.
is your feeling with?
Don't wait.
Do we wait or
no, go, cover them.
for a third estimate?
Did we decide which one you get?
We've been waiting for a third estimate
it's
for a
coming next.
company, and we've only got 2 responses.
Yeah,
I
'cause
think
they're
we
over
should.
500.
My personal opinion is we should pick from the
And we've
2
already-
responses.
We've asked somebody and they just won't
Yes,
show up.
and they just haven't,
We
right.
gotta get
What are the
going on it.
prices?
Sometimes,
Well, these aren't apples to apples, so I'll go ahead and compare these two,
Appleize them.
and I'll appleize them.
Wow,
What's the difference in price?
how different can they be?
Well, one is 1,890 and the other's 2,425.
All right, so I say let her compare them and go with the best one.
Right, because I want to see which one, what are we going to get more bang for the buck
There you go.
for how much
I'll
solar
make
heat
a
it
motion to let
reduces.
her
Thank you.
go with her pick and let her.
Get her done?
We gotta get it done.
Yeah,
Second.
And Cindy is working with me on this.
yeah, I
I
was,
want to
So
make
the
her
motion-
happy.
you know, I'm not great with the colors or whatever it is that you're picking, but personally, I thought that because the windows already have a greenish tint, to stick with that color, I think that copper would just look aesthetically kind of
Bad or
out there.
good?
Bad in the
Bad,
town.
okay, then we'll
That
go
was
with
my
the-
thought, because the greens already have it.
Yep,
the-
I'm fine with
I'm
that.
not going to sit
But-
down there, so I don't care.
Is
what
the
color.
green from the tint that's on Cindy's window now, or is
I
it,
think the windows already are somewhat green tinted.
Yeah.
No, that's the fake film she's got on it.
there's a fake film
Oh, no,
that,
no,
all
the
the
windows themselves do have a green tint to them.
The glass has a
The
green
glass
tint,
does,
or
yeah.
is it reflecting off the green
No, it's
trim?
All the windows.
It's a greenish
It's
tint.
greenish tint.
I never
In the
noticed it.
glass?
Yeah.
Never noticed it.
Okay.
And typically older
Right,
glass has a
yep,
greenish
you're
tint
right.
to it.
I have bullseye glass that doesn't have any green tint to it.
And,
Yeah, well-
and
It's clear.
And also, because you had raised questions last week, is like, are we going to be too cold? So I wanted to make sure that I'm selecting the
good question.
correct.
So you're going to research, you're going to do the research?
Start
and-
calling tomorrow.
The motion is to work with Cindy and the companies to find out what the difference is, and that you're going to select the most efficient and quote you the most bang for the buck.
Yeah, it's Anderson Solar Films and RPL Energy Enterprises.
And the motion
And we
is
won't
on the
do
table
copper.
for the windows, so any more discussion? All those,
How many windows are we proposing to do?
All the ones with awnings. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
will that eliminate the use of
Downstairs.
the awning?
Or was it?
altogether,
That will enhance it with the awnings.
enhance it with the awning.
Okay, all right.
No, we won't lose the awnings. Okay, the other question I have,
Motion's still on the table.
Yeah, it's
and this
most,
has to do with, every year we budget
nope,
25,000.
Nope,
Joyce,
motion's still on the table.
any more discussion?
Nope.
All those in favor?
All right,
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Aye.
Okay.
it's interesting.
Note the, oh, you've got the tape, okay.
Is the tape still running?
I thought I heard click.
Okay, go to tape 2. Take that one's done.
I voted against it last time. I'm
We have
voting
the
against
camera.
it this time.
We have the camera.
Can the camera hear us?
Yeah, we have these microphones hooked into
Oh,
it.
I thought the microphones just went to that. I didn't know the audio went to the camera.
It
Yeah.
projects.
For our budget, for our $25,000 that we try and get everything done that we can with Town Hall, I have estimates from prior years. For example, the Main Street ornamental tree pruning and the island. In our budget, since we're not going out to bid now, do you want me to use the range of estimates that I have from 2009 and 2014? Or do you want me to go out and contact, I have a whole list
To do
ready
what
to send.
specifically?
To trim the trees on
The tree
Main Street.
trimming, yes.
The tree trimming, and also the island, pruning the island trees.
Arborist, right?
Arborist work,
Doesn't the
And I
Park
have-
Commission put that on theirs?
not for the island
Not
on
for the
Main
island.
Street.
And I have a whole
Island
list of
is not-
arborists, I have
Best Pocket Park, do we still have that
We do
with
Buffalo,
us?
Best Pocket, Civil War, and Riverfront Park.
So what I would suggest is, with your permission, if I could go ahead and put out an RFP now, because it's, the amount of money is so little that we could get it encumbered for this year,
They need to be done.
okay? And I'm going to do for 25 ornamental trees along Main Street between the railroad and the Tilton Inn, prune to shape and thin, lift canopies to balance and reduce potential for pedestrian injuries, prune back from buildings where necessary, and prune off dead or damaged branches and any sucker growth on stems.
The merchants are asking that we prune them way up, but that would give us pom-poms for trees. They're really silly. But I did want to bring that to everybody's attention.
It should be pleasantly shaped. It shouldn't be a popsicle.
It looked like a lollipop.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
and
Tootsie
then
Pop.
we'll do a separate one for the island.
They'd be Dr. Seuss trees.
Can I ask a question here? It may be redundant, and I think that this has been brought up in the past, but, you know, we often talk about how to group things together and get the most bang for our buck. Why, I mean, the Parks Commission are going out for arborists for the parks. I mean, couldn't they also go out for,
We did.
We did, that's
the
what I'm
bids.
using.
and then just take that out of, so in other words, they're hiring an arborist for everything, so that it would be cheaper, and then tell us what the island is and tell us what Main Street is, and we plug those numbers into our budget.
We did go, when they went out to bid, they did bid everything, and then provided town meeting with those bids. In fact, I've got them in here. The tree work on the island was $2,700, and tree work on Main Street was $1,275. But the arborist isn't going to be doing all the work at the same time. So there's still a mobilization cost, because the arborist is going to come and do the work on the Civil War Monument, because that needs the most work. There's danger of a tree falling. It's not just maintenance. There's
Okay.
a lot of work to be done. Then, later on in the season, they'll probably do Riverfront Park. So it's not like they're going to come and do everything in one fell swoop.
In 2 weeks or 10
Kind of makes
days.
sense for us to,
You can't bargain and pruning those trees too, and,
well, we did throw it in the mix.
I mean, as opposed to some...
But what I'm saying is, you know, you can use those and go with that person, or we have time to go out and just verify that it is the best price.
Well, especially with the Civil War monument, if we have trees in danger of crashing down, that seems to be we need to jump on that one, because I don't want the statue hit or have it come down in the road or whatever. I don't know which trees we're talking about, so.
The park commissioners didn't anticipate that work when they created their budget last year, because
Yep.
these things developed over the season.
Yeah.
So there isn't enough money in their budget to do everything that needs to be done, which is why it's going to be done piecemeal.
Well, it would be nice, though, because they wouldn't be pruning these trees now, this time of
A lot
year.
of times they like to, well, they're going to be doing them before spring.
Right, but
They
we
like
could at
to
least
do
get
them
a
during the
contract
dormant
signed.
season.
Yep.
Okay.
You know,
And-
February-ish, maybe.
And then for the island, just prune all trees on the island park to reduce hazards.
Okay.
All right. All right, the next thing I would really like to have done is to have the front doors refinished Out front.
I'm sorry, how many years have we been trying to do?
So again, I mean, I can, in our budget, when we had it done the last time, it was $1,100.
It's not.
Sorry.
It's
So-
going to be way more than that.
Right, so this is what we
They're a
had
mess.
done last time. Refinish 4 mahogany exterior front doors with 3 coats of spar urethane. Remove and temporarily secure the openings. Sand, stain, finish with 3 coats of finish and reinstall. We also want to include, because I didn't include it the last time, to also do the trim around the doors.
The trim around the doors, and they're going to have to do, somebody has to do something about the gasket.
Yeah.
I think every time I come in the door, I stop and I put the gasket back in, and I think we've all done that. If you're
I've
not
done it.
careful, it stretches too far and there's a tail wagging.
So,
I
With
don't
that-
think, go
Well,
ahead.
your thing to have a UV block in it too, so the
Right.
sun doesn't.
That's why spar varnish, that's what they use on boats.
Spar
We have-
varnish
should we have
sits on
4
top of wood.
coats?
Spar varnish sits on top of wood. It doesn't penetrate the wood. And it, over time, is going to do exactly what it's doing now.
Turns yellow.
It turns yellow and it fades and it starts
Blister and.
blistering and
yeah.
cracking and, you know,
Sand it
showing,
off and-
showing like it's very aged and it's not.
It's an old
'Cause
building.
It doesn't. These were done very recent. You'd be
In
surprised.
my recollection.
2009.
The doors
So-
aren't that old either.
No, they're not, and they're mahogany, and they're just beautiful doors. But I don't really feel by specifying that you're going to put spar varnish on it, personally, my own personal opinion.
so ask them to designate what type of
There are other expert people
sealant.
out there, and many, many sealants out there that will be much longer, have a much longer life than a spar varnish. Even boats have to be redone over a period of time because of the sun, and we get the sun exposure here. So
Well,
that's what's happening.
We could, and I do have in here an estimate from before of doing an awning over the sewer door. That would at least cut down on, because the front door is recessed, so it's not as weathered as the sewer door. So we could have an identical awning made up for the front.
I like that name, sewer door.
But the sewer door, but it would have to maybe have posts to come out if you wanted to have it shade the whole door. So that would be,
Yeah,
Where
we're
is
still
this-
gonna get the
unless
weather in
Unless
the
you
winter.
have the right,
The one down here?
there, you know.
that one's in worse shape than,
If you go to Boston Library or Harvard or Yale or any one of those beautiful, big, big doors that they have, or even here, they don't do those doors every 3 years. Those doors have really a long, long, long life. What do they use on those doors that give them the treatment that they have?
And what does that cost?
Right. It's not, I
It might save us money.
I guarantee you, the finish on those doors are not going to be any more expensive than the spar varnish. There's some that are done with linseed and beeswax that will last longer than a spar varnish. But, you know, I'm not an expert on finishing, but
we'll have them
You're wearing
designate the
expert.
sealant to be used and provide specifications.
you know, a urethane just sits on top of wood, it does nothing, and over time, the wood dries and the varnish splits, and it's just not a good, so you can put 1 coat, 2 coats, 3
That's not
coats,
gonna
it
get
doesn't
done.
matter.
We're gonna do that this year, or you gonna wait till after, next summer?
They wanted to get the prices to encumber the money.
To encumber the money for this year. And then
Well,
the
they'll take the doors off, like they did
Yeah.
last time, and give us a piece of plywood.
You know,
They'll take them away so they can.
Why
do
don't I
anything.
call a couple of people that, experts that do doors, that make doors, and ask them what they put on for finishes.
Bill Doubleday made those doors, right?
Yes.
Yep.
See what he recommends. He makes
Well,
windows and doors all the time.
It was not even a year or 2 after that it faded. And I got to tell you, I've been 2 months trying to get a quote from Bill Doubleday for the senior center door that we need to replace because it's out of code, because we need a,
Push bar.
Call the
Right.
prison. That's who made the door at the Riverfront Park.
no, You want to call them? I've called Pixie, I've called Brian, I've called,
What's that, to install?
Right there, New Hampshire Correctional
no,
Industries.
a new door. We
Call
need a new
them.
door. Okay.
They made the doors at Riverfront Park to the kitchen. Those beautiful doors.
Well, I've taken local contractors in the area, including Bill Doubleday, to find out what it would cost to get a new wooden door, because that door up there is maybe 100 years old, if that.
Might
And,
be better.
Or better.
Could be original.
And we need a push button and stop, push, whatever they call, push bar for handicap to open it, for code. But,
Do we have to install an alarm on that door once we get the push bar? Or Mango will hook us in?
it's already on this door, they would just have to adjust it. But
Okay,
it's-
get to my favorite one, Joyce.
I have two more.
Yeah, okay.
All right, the next one is for carpeting.
There's my favorite one.
The last time we got a quotation, spoke with 3 contractors, only one bid, and it was very expensive, and we were going to, on top of that, we would have to pay a moving company to move some of the safes.
And all the stuff.
So I would like to, and then also, we bid on 3 options, we couldn't agree, the board couldn't agree on what they wanted to do, if they were going to replace all the carpeting, or the entryways and halls, regular VCT, safety zone slip retardant VCT, or match the ceramic tiles that we have already. It's very expensive, but I would like to put this out for bid again, but this would be for 2015,
budget.
and it may need a warrant article.
Is it going to be that expensive,
Oh, the
Joyce?
warrant article.
You wouldn't,
Not if you really want to get her done.
well, here's a question. We could go either way on this. Do you want to keep carpeting?
No.
No.
What's under that carpet, Joyce?
It's glued down to wood. Some sort of
What the hell were they thinking? They glue it onto the wood. It's probably original wood.
It's just plywood overlayment? or
I
is
think
it-
it's overlayment.
Yeah, they put an overlayment on it.
And there's not nice hardwood floors underneath that plywood.
There
is there?
probably was at one time.
I can't imagine them ripping them out.
When we had our
Sand
leak
and-
downstairs, when we had to look up through the ceiling tile in the hallway, you should poke your head up there sometime, because the tin roofs are still up there, and a million wires everywhere. Everywhere.
But what's the base floor? Somebody thought it was a good idea.
might
I'm
be like
sure
this.
it's
Into
wood.
place,
Real
I've
wood.
taken out the different, floor vents and looked to see if I could see a plywood layer.
Oh, that's where you can floor.
I mean, a hardwood layer. I
And?
couldn't in the back room.
But what they did, so they just had plywood?
They didn't have plywood back then.
It was so, that whole downstairs was redone not long ago. What, 20 years ago?
That's
16 years ago?
I know Gail Twombly was working here, because I remember I
Yeah,
came
it
in
wasn't
one day
that
and I
long
went,
ago, So I
"Whoa, what
don't
did
know
you
if the
guys
hardwood was taken out or if it was covered over. If you look at the thresholds, it would seem to me if you add plywood to hardwood floor and then the padding and the carpeting, you would be stepping up onto the floor if you didn't take the hardwood out, which doesn't make any sense.
That's a crime.
Yeah. But you could take a piece of carpeting
Let's
out
put glue on.
in, say, one corner of Tim's office and pull it back and look and see. What's
Go
under
in the
there?
closet and do it.
Go in the closet and do it.
I don't think there's carpet in the closet.
Yeah, there is.
I think there's tile in there. There's carpet in his closet?
Pretty sure it's carpet. Almost positive it is.
Well, the thing that amazed me is that the difference between just the regular VCT and the safety zone slip retardant VCT, the regular is $800 and the retardant is $2,336.
That's what you want in there then. Slip free. No suing. You don't want to put down cheap stuff.
I mean, my feeling is our building is similar to the police station, where we get so many people in here. And it's just not healthy, because carpet holds
I don't want carpet.
dust and dirt, and
Bacteria.
so.
How many times do we have people lick the rug?
Oh, you kill me.
When I had my office over in
Oh, the bacteria
Northfield,
I am so amazed at
comes out of my mouth.
how Joe thinks.
Do you
It
know
just-
that
It just amazes
when you
me.
talk about, oh my, I can't see.
Not enough,
It's like
it's
4
dirty.
Bobbies over there. Okay, now there's only one. Woo, I just can't make them out. That was weird. Yeah, lead paint. It's not from kids. People think it's from kids chewing on their crib or eating pieces of lead. It's from the dust. When you open your window in a house with lead paint, you created dust, and it goes into drapes and carpeting. So when you have your child crawl across your carpet that you think you've just cleaned satisfactorily with your vacuum, you really haven't completely. There's still lead dust in there. So carpeting is not considered a real healthy thing.
and
to have.
and if anybody wanted carpeting, you can go and buy real inexpensive. I did that remember when there was Ames department store?
Yep.
I went in there and I bought a nice, it was like a 5x8 or whatever, it wasn't that big. Nice little, looked like an oriental rug. And I just put that in the area in front of my desk. When people sat down, they had their feet on this nice little rug.
We have
I
a
think
mat
it's still there, I
service now,
left it.
right? In the wintertime, we have a mat service.
We have mats.
No, we don't have
No,
that
and not a
We don't have
service.
mats?
Because if we're
There's
going
not
to
we don't have a mat
don't have a
service.
if we're going to go with, you know,
The tile.
the tiles and having meetings, and especially in the wintertime, you're going to need a mat service. They come in
They get
every
wet
2
and they
weeks.
get like
They roll them up
ice.
and they
I
take them
think
and
that, doesn't
roll
the
new one.
police station still do that? I know they used to.
You do
Lake
guys do
Street
that?
Linden does it. Lots of
You have a
living
mat
companies
service
will
over
do
there?
it.
I think they do at the PD. Oh, yeah, you're right here. Do you have a mat service?
Who do you use?
He's doing the minutes.
Poor guy's been waiting since 5
It's like,
o'clock.
will you guys hurry up and get to me?
It's entertaining.
And I was going to ask if I could, I have to pick Thomas up at 8:30.
So,
We better move along then.
All right, so how do you want me to handle this? Do
Right off the bat.
RFPs now and for the 2015 budget?
Carpeting?
Oh, I'm sorry, there is one more. The roof. I have an estimate, well, one of the things that they had suggested is that,
It's fixed now.
excuse me, to wash the seams and overlay with 6-inch pressure-sensitive overlayment on the EPDM roof. Wash seams with weathered membrane cleaner, prime seams, and install 6-inch pressure-sensitive EPDM.
For how much?
This one was for $6,346. That's material and
Al
labor.
fixed it.
No, but I mean, I mean, if you want to extend the life of the roof, I've had three different companies go up there and look at it, and they've all said, your roof's in good shape, but if you want to extend the life of it,
do this.
wash it and redo the seams.
Yep.
So, did you want to do that this year, or we can wait?
Oh, I tell you,
I'd rather, if you fix that leak,
I want to do it soon. Because some of those seams are coming apart, I can tell you that.
there,
They are?
Yep.
And we need to
How much
do
is it?
$6,000.
and this is February of 2014.
To replace it.
I was gonna say, and if it starts leaking like this thing up here, then there's a floor issue, and
Let's readdress that in a couple of weeks.
Okay.
See how we're looking with our budget.
I hate spending that kind of money,
And
you
maybe we
know,
can
but
take it out of
This
this
is a-
budget, so we don't have to
Yeah,
raise
but
and
this is a
appropriate
roof.
it.
If you wait a couple of weeks, we're in November.
It's going to have snow, they won't be able
Good
to.
point, they can't do it until spring anyway.
Right.
Yeah, I'd take a look at some of these things.
They can now, but they can't do it in a couple of weeks because if we have snow this weekend,
it's too cold, the materials they use won't be effective.
They heat it.
Do they heat it now?
they do.
Oh, the new technology, I love it.
That's not gonna
If you don't do it
stay.
soon, you're gonna be.
He's gonna have snow mixed in with the
serious
rain.
problems.
But they can do it.
Could be,
gonna
we're
be
just
bad.
rolling the dice on that one. It might not, but if it does, it's gonna cost us a lot more money,
I think so.
because then we have
The
to
plan
repair the water
to do it
damage
for
and the roof.
2015.
Put it in the budget.
And then the final thing is,
If we can do it now and we have the money, why not do it now?
doesn't
Al
it have
said
to be
they-
a certain temperature, though, if they're
Al
going to
said
be
they heat
putting...
'em.
You call them
Says
up
they
there,
need 'em.
when you talk to them, say, ask them how they apply
time
the
frame?
rubber. Usually they apply the rubber with heat, flame.
Torch apply?
Yep.
Okay.
Many a house burnt down with torch apply.
Well, they gotta have liability insurance, I hope.
What do we have left in that?
What about repointing those bricks? We talked about that years ago, but I don't believe we've done
No, I've
anything
got
about it.
that one
Italy's
right
slow.
here. You want to talk about...
No,
No!
no.
Well, what happened is, they
file?
did divert. The worst part
Take-
was,
take
is
a look.
their rain, there was this little roof up
Yep,
there.
and
it
it's
come
still
down,
happening, isn't it?
Drill. No,
No.
they've done some things that it's
Did they
less.
remove those condenser units? So seldom I go between the buildings.
Yeah, I haven't looked,
So
that's a good point.
there are like AC or condensers in the hallway that just shot moisture across the way, and that was deteriorating our
Yeah, that
wall.
moisture's not hurting that.
It was the roof that they had, that little roof.
Our
That
roof
was
dripped onto
drilling it
their
right
roof
into the
dripped onto
building.
our wall.
This drips onto ours.
Their
They had
fault.
that whole roof.
Our roof drips onto them.
Nonetheless.
Their fault.
And then theirs
We
was coming
still
down,
got
hitting that little
damage to
subroof
that
they
wall.
had made. And it
We were
was
gonna
drilling
repoint it,
the
and
building. You can see
it
where
didn't
it
ever get done.
No. Looking at about $60,000 a report, that's.
Yeah, an ignorant amount of money.
We have about $14,000.
I think this roof probably is,
So, all right, I'll call...
I think the roof is the
the
one
roof and the
that'll
windows.
Start at the top.
bang for our bucks.
All right.
Holy jumping,
I have a question for you. Has Dennis scheduled fixing the ruts in Riverfront
$85,000.
Park over where we had the washout? I
couldn't vote for that anyways.
Before it freezes, or we're going to be in trouble, because that is a four-season park, as per the money we borrowed from the
Right.
United States
I
of
did-
America.
We'll have to talk to him, because when I did talk to him, he didn't think that there was a problem. He said it will grow back.
On what? I'm talking about the path.
The path.
Oh, the path. I thought you meant from the
Oh, no,
water
that'll
company.
grow back,
I'm
except
sorry.
it's going to be depressed.
Yes.
It's not gonna-
Yeah, he will.
It's not going to magically raise
Sorry.
up, but the grass will grow back.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the path.
The path, yes. He said that he can't do anything until he's done with Amnesty Week.
That's fine, but has he scheduled it?
I
Or
don't know.
next week, the week after? The ground is going to freeze here soon, and that's got to be done before it freezes.
All right, I'll email him right now.
They're insured, aren't they? Water department?
Yes.
I hope
They should
so.
be fixing.
I did speak with Scott, and Scott said if there is damage there that they caused, that they will take care of it.
We're not going to know until we turn the irrigation on in the spring.
Right. I did talk with them this afternoon. Okay. So, Chief, I'm sorry.
You awake?
You all done?
Signed for
Joyce,
him
you're all
already.
done, right?
Well, that was quick.
I think so.
5:30.
It was
It's
only two, wasn't it?
it's only a few minutes.
I think there was
Yeah,
only
he's only
two.
got a few minutes, is right.
No, he's only a few minutes over.
Yeah, a few minutes is
5:30.
right.
Sign it in green.
Okay,
Just saying.
what you got?
Brown.
I can go right down my list, and then at 8:10, I have Luke bringing the new car down, so if anyone wants to see it on the way out.
Did it
new
have all the
cab?
fancy lights?
The lights, the console.
Okay.
So
Beautiful.
I texted him for 8:10.
Have Luke take
Motion to
Catherine for a
adjourn.
ride
I'm talking about.
So,
with full lights.
okay, in silence. Screaming down Route 3.
Yep.
You can chase after me. My Passat.
John, you'd like to see it with the console and everything. It's coming at 8:10. All right.
It's all right. I'm good.
I'll make it.
I'm gonna buy it.
Go for a ride.
All right, chief, let's have at it.
So,
Have at it.
All right,
So,
let's go.
calls for service for the last week were 400 internal. And puts us at about 83, 88 for the year inside, and Belknap about 4,800. Charges and arrests within the last week,
Sign it.
15
Didn't see it.
arrests and charges, including 3 warrants, 2 receiving stolen property, 2 criminal liability, simple assault, driving after suspension, 3 willful concealment, 1 drug possession. And then we picked up some new felony cases this week, within the last week, an embezzlement case, 4 sexual assault, 1 child abuse, child pornography, 2 burglary, and we have a drug case ongoing.
Not in Tilton.
In Tilton,
No.
Yeah.
He's making it up.
I wish I was.
Not in Tilton.
are these included in the 15 or additional to the 15 arrests?
No, these are new cases. This has nothing to do with...
That's the felony
It's
cases.
the felony stuff that came in within the last 7.
Oh, my word.
Yeah, they're busy.
What's wrong with these people? Exactly.
I'm telling you.
As if on cue.
Yeah, it goes,
plan that.
we'll go a couple months where we don't get that kind of stuff coming
Yeah.
in, and then all of a sudden we're getting hammered with it,
Yep.
and you just don't know when it's coming at you, and
They
you
get bored.
just deal with it. And they're doing a good job. Matter of fact, they just had that interview class. One of these real bad suspects, they interviewed him and got a confession out of him using some of that technique that they got in the class, so that was good.
You guys still do good cop, bad cop?
They do.
Do they?
Yeah, they-
Outstanding.
That's timeless.
Got that from Dragnet.
They really do that?
Of course.
No.
It is a timeless tactic.
That's for another day. All right, let's
All
go.
right, I'll keep pushing. Only thing for Fleet this week is they had to replace a couple lights on the push bumper, the little blue ones that light up, and a siren controller in that 3A car. Building needs, the only thing I asked, I don't know, if maybe I direct it to Joyce or to Dennis, we'd just like to get a couple more of those recycle barrels, if that's possible.
I'll ask him right now. 2
2, please.
of the big ones?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, I guess we use a lot of trash.
Outstanding, chief.
Thank you. Just so you know, a couple of things on details. So tomorrow Fairpoint will be working on Route 140. Kenny Partridge will be working at 42 Winter Street for water main connect. Obviously, we have Halloween tomorrow night. Winnisquam.
What are the hours tomorrow night?
6 to 8?
Whenever they want.
Yeah, they usually get... so
If
is it-
somebody's out at 9 o'clock and you're going to say, go home, you can't trick or treat?
Yeah, we
It's
always
9
say like
o'clock.
officially
I do.
6 to 8, but they come out at
No,
5
I
and
don't.
stay till 9.
Say, wow.
There's a lot going on tomorrow night. Actually, there's a Winnisquam's playing Bishop Brady in Concord. That's a big game for them.
Yeah.
They need to win. There's a Halloween dance at the high school. Another thing to note, some Black Friday changes this year. They'll be starting Black Friday at 6 PM instead of 10 PM. It's coming from corporate.
And when is that now?
Yeah, that's 6
Black
PM of
Friday,
Thanksgiving.
Oh, that's the
Day
crazy
after
shopping.
Day of
No,
Day of?
the day of.
That's
Yeah.
the crazy
Day
shopping
of
day.
Thanksgiving.
It is.
Yeah,
Day
well,
of Thanksgiving, 6
And
PM, day
Eric,
of Thanksgiving.
Eric got
do
that from
dishes.
Tanger
They're just-
Corporate.
They keep going up and up and
So
up.
now it's not Black Friday, it's Crazy Thursday and Black Friday.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll keep pushing. The other day, we did a pod drill at the middle school. That went very well. It's a point of distribution drill. Catherine helped with it a little bit. They did flu shots, but it was a test to see how the flow would work at the middle school. And like the voting, I think they're thinking about moving that to the high school too, for the same reasons. Awards and recognition, so this week, Jeannie Forrester sent us a nice letter congratulating us on our OR Organized Retail Crime Award, which we got last month, and then Tilton Police was nominated as one of 3 police departments in the state to get the New Hampshire Partners in Education Award down in Manchester, and that was on Friday. And I really have to credit Bill with a lot of that, because he's been doing a great job coaching and mentoring and all that. And that's it, and I
Kudos to Bill.
have those.
Did they get the stuff to the newspaper yet, the reports?
Yeah,
I didn't notice
the
last
captain's
week.
doing it, yeah. Yeah, matter of fact, he's doing it weekly, and then I get CC'd, but, yeah. There's those copies of those. Oh, you already have them?
Is that
Okay.
the
Oh, I don't have
That's the one from Jeannie. Yeah, it gives like basically a breakdown. It goes to the Citizen, the Laconia Sun, and the Salmon Press. And,
So you got your snow tires on?
I do, yeah, not all the cars do.
I guess a couple, two of them have them marked.
Yeah, not yet, but
Joyce, how are we doing with the surveyor for Joe Chase's property on Manville Road? That just popped into my head.
I don't know anything about this.
We're supposed to get a survey,
Not a
we're supposed to get a survey
chance.
done.
Oh, okay, this is news to me.
Or the not Joe Chase's property, the town's property.
Town's
town's
We need
property.
to find out where the town line is.
The property that John Mansville sold to the town for Manville Road.
We took that vote last week.
Oh, okay.
It was last week, right? We took that
Did I
vote
vote
last week.
yes?
I
What was
here
it?
last week.
What's that?
No, you left early.
I left early.
What was it?
To get the
Okay.
property surveyed, so we
All
know
right.
what the town line is.
Okay, so,
We may own the
Good idea
trees,
in
we
that
may own...
neighborhood.
what is the extent of the survey? You just want to know what the width of
We don't know
Manville...
where we own.
We don't know where the bounds are.
We want to know the town boundaries, all the boundaries.
Where do we own?
Okay, so what length? What lots?
The reference with his property.
I'll give you the map.
And 3M's property, and down
Okay.
that road.
Okay,
Chief.
Not down the road.
No, yeah, down the road,
Wow.
reference where we have to do all the work.
A little bit down the road.
okay, so between
Mark that
the
parcel.
Chase property and property
All
owned
of
by...
those incidences.
3M, right.
Criminal.
oh, yeah.
None of them are following the
I'd probably do like
Fire truck.
1,000-foot.
lockouts,
Down the
getting
road.
people back into their
Which would give
cars.
us a
Oh, you're
pretty
talking
good
about the
idea.
calls for service?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, some might be, but like
we did vote on
nowadays,
that
if
last
we
week
go
to
with
do it.
them,
Okay.
it's usually
I'll get
drug-related.
together with Catherine, because any
So-
information she has, they'll want to
Like-
see it.
Can you disseminate that out?
Yes, get with her
You can,
and then do
yeah,
it.
you can break it down, but
Please select
you'd have to, it would be
To see if there's anything urgent.
really, really difficult and lengthy to try and find out, so that you know they went to a medical. Was it a suicide or attempt suicide?
What
You'd have to
about-
go into the notes of the call, to each call. Typically, if
We
it's...
at least know how
typical-
many we went and followed the fire truck.
Followed the fire truck calls. Yeah, I mean, you can break it down that way, you just won't know what
We
they were
won't know
going
what they're
to.
doing, but just fire truck calls.
Yeah.
How many times they've helped people get back into their locked cars.
Yeah, like lockout stuff, absolutely.
Shoplifters at Walmart.
That should be all logged anyways.
So, and that's it, and the car's downstairs if anyone wants to see it.
Okay.
What car?
The new police.
With
New
the
car with the
police
lights and
car
whistles.
With the lights and the
Console
new
and built
Havas
into the dash,
console.
so there's no more metal in
We're
the...
just barely getting the new car?
No, this
The
is...
lights.
We're getting
Oh!
The
in the new lights.
It's the other new car they just bought.
That must have been the siren that we heard.
console in the dash is downstairs.
When you weren't here, we bought a new cruiser.
Well, you know.
Oh, the taser's in yet?
No,
Those look a little sleepy.
That's, yeah.
No. I had itchy eye.
Oh, this-
December 9th, I'm there.
See, he's got the date
Come and watch
memorized.
me get tased.
Is there, you're finished, thank you, I'm sorry that we are running.
Yep, you
Is there
can go back.
anything urgent that needs to come before the board in a public session? I know we didn't do selectmen's reports, I knew it was going to be a busy
I
evening.
do have one question.
Shoot the man.
How many responses did we get to the RFP for waste pickup?
Well, interesting that you ask about that,
Yeah.
Joe. We had a conversation last week.
Really?
I think that there was kind of sort of a misunderstanding, if we could put that delicately. Tim came before us to give us his report, and in that report was something to do with Casella contract. Somehow Casella was under the understanding that we didn't want to go forward with them, that we were going to go out with an RFP, and that's not so. We are considering Casella and want to consider Casella, but we were looking to see if there was a better price out there.
By putting out an RFP.
And that information didn't get to Mr. Casella, so that they were putting a time frame on that $22,000 for November 30th, was it? So we asked him to go back to Casella. That's not the case. What we would like is to look at this a little closer, and he got the cutoff date is December 31st.
Correct.
Right, and that's, so, we really haven't gone out the RFP.
We decided not to, it's too late.
Right.
And no RFP was created to go out.
Right.
But we talked about this a couple of months ago. And as far as, and I talked, after speaking with the board, I talked with Archie over at Casella and told them that the RFP was going to come. It was not indicative of any dissatisfaction that we had with their service, certainly, but that we had to do due diligence to the townspeople of Tilton. And to, just award a contract without doing that was not in the best interest of the residents. And he understood completely, and I was waiting for the RFP to go out. And I know that Joyce has been busy and what have you.
Well, and Tim, too, I mean,
Well, everybody's been busy, budget, right?
Yep.
But I was just wondering if we had indeed sent it out. Now, they're willing to honor the deal that they made, but part of that deal was a contract extension. It
Right,
wasn't they were just going to give us money.
Right.
There
That's
was a
correct.
contract
Tim is
extension.
going to talk to them, because if they're admitting that they're overcharging us, then they're overcharging us.
Right.
What they admitted was that they were willing to renegotiate the price if we gave them a contract
No, they agreed
extension.
that they were charging us more than they should.
I never heard him
Because the
say that.
service has
Maybe he said it
reduced.
to Tim.
Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense, same route,
So
$6,000
there's a conversation
more.
that's supposed to take place.
And one guy less, and that's how they came up with the $22,000 savings, was because they did have.
Per
one-
year.
Right, that's correct.
So there should be a savings if we decide not to go with a 5-year contract. There should still be a savings. Maybe not that full amount, but there
I
still
don't
should
know
be
if they're
something.
I think they're thinking more in terms of prorating it for this year, but in years going forward,
Good night.
certainly there
Like
would,
for 2015,
pardon me?
yeah. There should be savings without us signing a 5-year contract.
right.
And perhaps they would be willing to entertain that. That I do not know. But as it got left the last time, there was supposed to be RFPs going out. So are we just putting that to bed for now and negotiating like a year extension, or how do you want to play this? Because we're leaving money on the
We left
table.
it up to Tim to
We
talk
left it
with,
up to Tim to talk to them,
we left it up to Tim to talk to Archie.
and there's no RFP because there wasn't one created and there's no
Right.
time to do
Okay,
it now.
Tim, where he stands as of when I came up the stairs, was that he had gotten them to extend through December 31st with
Yep.
their current offer. So that still included
So we should bring it up next week.
We'll have to
an
bring it up to
extension of
Tim.
multiple years.
So we'll,
I'd just like to put it to bed one way or the other.
all right. Well,
We got 2 months.
why don't we put it up,
Sure.
we'll
but
bring it up,
Leaving the money.
let's bring it up when you're here.
Okay, couple
Right.
weeks, and by that time, we'll have the details about whether we can get a one-year extension or whatever.
Right.
Okay, good, I'm
Motion
done.
adjourned.
Second?
Those in favor?
With your feet, and I'm moving. See you later.